Hey everyone, it's Don with Don's Field of Dreams Cards. So I've been a Pirates fan for a long time, since 1976, the year I bought my first pack of cards. So almost 50 years, which is hard to believe. And for us Pirates fans, it's been tough the last 30 years. 2 winning seasons and however long it's been. And it's not fun having an owner who doesn't spend any money. And you draft players because you can afford to sign them, and you draft guys that just they don't make it. Paul Skeens fell into our lap. I mean, I could have drafted Paul Skeens, so I won't even give the team a break on him. And some of the trades we made are just awful, and it's a shame because we have a beautiful, beautiful ballpark, and from what I've heard, one of the best in the country. I've only seen 7 or 8, so I can't say it's the best in the country, but it's got to be right up there. And because of that the owner doesn't spend money, I really hate to give him money. So I don't go to many games, only one so far this year. And the only reason I went there, it was Rick down in West Virginia and Scott at Reindeer Studios. We all went to the opener together. So it was, the only reason I went to the game, to be honest, was to see those guys. And so I don't watch a lot of baseball anymore, especially the Pirates. And I guess I can say that I'm not really a diehard fan anymore. I was at one time, but right now I'm not. But there was a time that the Pirates were great. And, we had Roberto Clemente at one time, but I was almost 5 when he died, so I don't remember him. Didn't remember his death. But there was a time it was great for me in Pirates history, and it's a time when the Pirates wore a hat like this. And I would put this hat on, but I got it from John Keating, and I don't want to put it on my head. I don't know where it's been. And especially the 79 Pirates. I was 12, and that was my wheelhouse. And I remember my dad let me stay up for that World Series every night. And as they were flying over as I'm trying to talk. But I could tell you every player on that team and every number they wore. Just some examples. Lee Lacy was 17. Bert Blyleven was 27. Omar Marino was 18. Things like that. I'd be lucky if I could tell you the whole Pirates lineup, starting lineup today. But I was fortunate enough to see 2 players who were my baseball heroes growing up. And that was Willie Stargell and Dave Parker. And Willie passed away the opening day at PNC Park, and that was tough. But the Cobra, Dave Parker, just passed the other day. And man, I loved Dave Parker as a kid. And man, it sucks that he died right before he got into the Hall of Fame. He should have gotten in earlier. And for him not to be here today to reap those rewards. The only saving grace, in my opinion, is that he knew that he got into the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to read something here. This is from the local paper. It was written about Dave this week. It said the iconic outfielder was arguably the best player in baseball for much of the 70s. From 75 to 79, Parker hit .321, second among qualified hitters, slugging .532, third, posting a .909 on-base percentage, also third. It led the majors with 72 outfield assists. Parker won the 78 National League MVP, 2 World Series championships, a pair of batting titles, and was an All-Star 7 times throughout a 19-year career. The athleticism and power every bit as evident as Parker's unmistakable confidence. The Cobra wasn't just great, he was on par with many others who were inducted into the Hall of Fame, without question, and retired as one of just 5 players with at least 500 doubles, 300 home runs, 150 steals, and 2,700 hits. Now, you can say he didn't hit 500 home runs and he didn't get 3,000 hits, but the eye test for me, I got to see this guy play in person. He was such a stud. He truly was a 5-tool player. He could run, he could hit, he could throw. He won Gold Gloves in the outfield. He was just dominating. And unfortunately, like many of us, he wasn't perfect, and he got himself in a little bit of trouble with the drug issues of the late 70s, early 80s, and that hurt his career. And he dealt with a lot in Pittsburgh. He got batteries thrown at him, and he wore an earring, which was probably the first athlete in Pittsburgh, at least a Pirate. There were a few Steelers that might have. And at that time, I believe he was the first non-pitcher to make $1 million in a year. And at that time, in the late 70s, a lot of the steel mills were closing down here in Pittsburgh, and a lot of people lost their jobs, and it wasn't a lot of money. And so people were rough on him because he was making $1 million, and they were lucky if they could put food on their table. But the eye test to me, the Cobra definitely deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's such a shame that he didn't get voted in earlier. And I can say the same with Dick Allen and Ron Santo. Like, I feel that these writers know they're eventually going to get in. And man, get these guys in while they're alive. You know, I don't know the, what's the word I'm looking for? The exact criteria or how they do the veterans vote. I know it changes every year, but maybe for the guys that are still alive, maybe they should have that vote every year. You know, the post or the pre-war guys obviously are gone. I don't know if that matters as much, but for these guys not to get the highest honor, I mean, they got it, but to see it is a shame to me. And got a few Dave Parker cards I'm going to show here. I didn't go through everything, just pulled a few out. Here's a modern one. Love the look of this card. I don't know if what this card is. I guess it's a refractor of some type or shiny. I don't know my modern, nor do I attempt to hide it or try to learn it. Cool 82 Donruss with a broken bat there. Still looks like he hit a screamer somewhere. 1975, that I don't have my glasses on, but I think they're the SSPC, Dave Parker. And there's a cool photo of Clemente, Stargell, and Parker together. And Parker's wearing 70. He was in the, I guess, spring training uniform then. His rookie card, the 1974. And then the card for me, one of his favorites, because it's my favorite set, was the 76. And I got to be honest, when I first started collecting cards, I didn't know much about baseball. And I thought Dave Parker was a white dude. Sounded like a white guy to me. And I was a little surprised when I pulled out this card and was like, not quite the white guy I thought he was. But, you know, it really hit me hard the other day. Not hard like a family member, but still just like, man, like all my childhood heroes, you know, that there's not many left. And Dave was definitely one of them. And only got to see Parker in person once. And that was with Scott Rainier Studios here in Pittsburgh maybe 5 years ago. And Scott had designed these. And Scott got his signed by Dave. And, you know, in the last couple of years, I was thinking, boy, it'd be cool for me to get mine signed. And obviously I didn't. And then I have one piece here. I'm going to pull it out. George, Diamond Yard Sports Card, gave this to me. And it's an ad for, it looks like Heinz ketchup on the back. And as you can see, Willie Stargell signed it. And Parker didn't, and I thought, wow, it'd be great to have Parker sign this as well. And of course, I didn't get around to it because I'm not a big autograph guy, but I thought it would have been cool to get those autographed. The one autograph I do have is his 5-star card with Parker right there. So I do have one of his autographs, but I didn't get it in person, which, to be honest, I don't think I've ever gotten anyone's autograph in person. But I got to stand there with Rick, and I think Steve Mathbuller might have been there as well. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, and Scott gave me that drawing, and he gave one to Bob Lewis as well. But, you know, I was thrilled this year when I heard Parker got in, and kind of 180 emotions now, like, man, 1 month away, and he didn't get to enjoy the fruits of it. But it's kind of my tribute to the Cobra, one of my childhood heroes. Rest in peace, Dave. You were awesome. As his shirts, there's a famous photo of him wearing a shirt saying it's just me and the boys bopping, and Dave's bopping in heaven with, hopefully with Stargell and maybe some of his other buds up there. But as always, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you soon.